We are in the process right now of trying to sell our home, and it's not going as quickly as some of the houses around here have been going recently. And there's a part of us that wonders if homesteading has devalued our home. In actuality, I know that the answer is no. I know that our homesteading on this property, that our planting fruit trees and our creating garden beds and building a greenhouse, I know that that actually has increased the value of our property. But the question is whether or not anyone else can see that value. It's crazy that in the world that we live in today, people don't understand the value of food and the value of food security. Food has been cheap and easy for so long that people don't value it anymore. When we first moved here, I was looking up information about how far away from the street we should plant our fruit trees. I wanted to know what the public right-of-way was on our property so that we didn't plant our fruit trees in a space of land that the city could come by later and say, oh, we're gonna turn this we're gonna expand the road and we're gonna rip out all your trees. So when I was looking up that information, I found, basically it was information from the city arborist about what types of trees might be good to plant on your property. And something I found so fascinating was that in reference to planting fruit trees, the thing that was mentioned is the concern that fruit trees will make a mess by their fruit falling on the ground. And I just think like how crazy that is, the concept that an abundance of food would be a problem and a nuisance for you. So you probably don't want to plant fruit trees because at some point in the future, they'll be producing more than you can eat all at once, and that would be an undesirable outcome. Like I said, I understand that in actuality, we increase the value of our property by turning it into food producing land. But like I say, the question is whether or not anyone is willing to pay for that and whether or not anyone else is willing to recognize that. I saw a meme last week. So this meme from Stark Brothers had this guy who looks like, he could be at Versailles and, back in the day. And it says, are you still dressing like this? Then why does your front yard look like this? So the point is, why are we manicuring our lawns to look like the Palace at Versailles? Palace of Versailles where, who was it that played peasant at Versailles?
Marie Antoinette.
Yeah, Marie Antoinette. She had her little play village where she would go out and play peasant. Having that type of a yard and that type of a lawn is of a mindset that food is cheap and easy, and that there's never going to be any concern for providing your own food, whether that concern be over availability or whether it be over quality or genetic modifications or local or better flavor or better varieties. The idea of having this, manicured palace lawn is the idea that everything is just provided for you somewhere else, off-site. It's that mentality that they're royalty and that food will always magically show up on their pantry shelves and on their dinner table. And I don't think that that's always the case. And going into the future, I think it's going to be even less the case, particularly when it comes to food integrity or food being what it actually purports to be, as opposed to being an edible food-like substance that resembles the food that you're trying to get and the food that you think that you're getting, but isn't actually that food at all. So we've had a handful of people who have set up showings for our home, and then an hour or two later the showing is canceled before the showing happens. And we've wondered, did those people just drive by and look at the front of the house and look at my food forest orchard that has apple trees and has, an herbaceous layer and of yarrow and garlic, and did they look at all that and just think, no way, that's crazy? And I wonder, because there are no pictures of the garden space listed, and I wonder what people think when they step out here on the back porch and look out over the garden, and what do they think? Are they excited by my 13 garden boxes? Or are they overwhelmed by that? Or are they just completely turned off by that? Or do they just wish that it was back to the 100% green lawn that it was when we got here? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think that having done this to our yard freaks people out and scares them off from buying our house, or if you think it doesn't affect people at all. I still hope we're waiting for someone who will be excited by the prospect of the work that we've put in here, of the raspberry bushes and the apple trees in the front yard, of the garden beds and the greenhouse in the backyard.
A few raspberries are starting to get ripe.
Just like...
So I had a few while I was mowing.
Oh, raspberries? Oh, good. No, you're not running my video.